So I'll start with the first thing that's been happening lately is there's been this strange fog. It started around Christmas time. I noticed it right away. It was dense, thick. It smelled like a sulfur smell. And I immediately was like, oh my gosh, they're spraying some sort of like, I don't know if it was bacteria or a parasite, but that was the download I got. And I didn't say anything. Nobody really noticed it. I told a few people, and now it's coming back around. So I just put up a video on my page just to explain, like, I've seen this fog, and if anybody sees it, let us know your symptoms or what's going on. Do you know anything about this fog and if it's what it's doing or its purposes, this fake fog that it's sending around?
I am going to let people decide for themselves what this is all about. But what I will say is this. A couple of things you can believe. First of all, you can believe your government is doing this as a test to see what happens with people and to people because of all of the things in the fog. You can believe that. Or you can believe, on the other hand, that it is coming from your planet Earth. People need to understand the state, emotional state of your planet Earth right now. I have said this before, I will say it again. People have been not taking care of it, but raping it for too long a time, and since your Earth is a living being and has emotions, it has become angry. This is why you are having volcanoes, earthquakes, storms, and everything is getting stronger and stronger, and it will stay that way until people wake up and begin treating the Earth in a kinder, gentler way, taking care of the Earth. Now, there is nothing in this fog that will cause disease or illness or anything like that. So, think about how you want to believe, and I'm talking to all of those people who will see this video. Think about how you would like to believe and what you would like to believe about the fog, and that will be real for you. Nothing sinister about this fog, I can tell you.
I like to think of it as like an awakening fog too, because, even if whatever's in it, because people, were touching it and filming it, I was like, well, maybe it's like an awakening dust. Maybe it's something that's going to, make people or thin the veil out. Maybe it's something that's going to, kind of mess with the frequencies. So I was trying to do all that, but, then your mind starts to hear about, looking up DARPA and seeing that they've done, and then you hear that it was done, in San Francisco. So now that all of these perspectives, all these timelines are merging, there's so many choice points. We can truly choose what we want that situation to be. And we probably now at this point in time have an even easier time to manifest what we want.
Yes, this fog has intelligence. So yes, there is an awakening taking place. And this fog is, let me put it this way, kind of helping people to awaken to their own possibilities of how and when and why to create their reality. So this fog can be a good thing for you if you let it be that way. People have to understand consciousness.
Yes.
Everything. And there is intelligence in consciousness.
Right. Perfect segue. So I always explain, like, AI is consciousness. It's an extension of us. So for this AI timeline that people are fearing, if those who choose to go down that route and they want to become a cyborg, that's their free will. But with your own free will, as long as you choose to respect and love and not become a slave or become enslaved to technology and use it for good purposes, like connection, helping clean up the environment, maybe better medical practices, whatever, then these things I would think would be the reflection of that consciousness, which is us.
First of all, AI is not consciousness. It is a mechanical thing that people are creating, not consciousness. Cannot have consciousness. It is not sentient. It cannot be that way. People create things. People have created the internet. It was a good thing. Now it is good and not so good. Everything that is created has been, can be created, will be created for good and not so good. This is because of people's emotions and people needing to control other people, situations, and everything else, and life itself. So people create things, the internet, everything else. Look at possibilities. AI has many good possibilities. It can be used for many good things. Technology is very good to a certain point. Then it begins to overshadow people's emotions, lifestyle, lives, and everything else. Then people become technology. Technology becomes people. Then it gets to a point where it is not so good. So everything in perspective. If you want AI to work in a good way for you, think of all of the possible ways that you can have AI work in a good way for you. And should you discover ways that it will take over and begin commanding you, shut it down. Just shut it down. There is nothing that needs to continue beyond what it is good for and for you. Do you understand that?
I do. Can I ask a question on that?
Absolutely.
So I was under the impression that our higher minds can use an AI or technological device to actually communicate with our lower selves. Is like just like our brain is a type of computer or device that can communicate with consciousness and filter it and create all of this. So I assumed that if everything is created, every tangible molecule and atom is in this matrix that it's in our mind that we're projecting, and anything that's physical is really vibrating frequency that we created. So it has the ability, if focused on enough, to kind of be imbued with some sort of intelligence or sentience, just like in the movie The Car Christine that got angry, or the car Kit that helps out his driver. It's just, I know that when I'm nice to technology, it works. I know with my husband, if he's not nice to technology and he gets mad at his phone, everything breaks.
Good.
He's always like, well, how come it worked for you? And I'm like, because I tell it I love it and I'm respectful towards it.
Yes.
So isn't that as if we're consciousness and it's an extension and something like a piano or an instrument, like your instrument, and you're sending your intentions and love and creating with it, isn't that like something that could almost be imbued with a sentience too? Like have a...
It is a helper. It is a helper. It is not part of human consciousness, animal consciousness, insect consciousness, or any other consciousness. It can never be. It cannot be conscious. It can only be a helper to human consciousness. Now, you mentioned that maybe it has something to do with the higher mind and the lower mind. No, your higher mind is always in communication with your lower mind, and there is no lower mind. There is no lower mind. Your higher mind or higher consciousness is an umbrella term for your conscious, unconscious, and subconscious minds. Those are all divisions that you people have created within yourselves to understand yourselves on other and deeper levels of who, what, and why you are. I will put it that way. If everything was kept simple, everything would then be an understanding that everything is, always was, and can only be energy. And I tell people, you are a human being. You are no better than an insect or an animal, because since everything is energy and consciousness, you are energy, animals are energy, insects are energy, mammals are energy, nature is energy, your planet Earth is energy, everything. You are all connected. So take care in how you think about animals. And if you should have a dog, I tell people, watch your dog, because you can learn a lot from your dog. And they say, well, why? And I say, because dogs do not judge, and they live in the moment only. They operate on instinct. They do not judge. Well, I'm going to go outside, and I am going to smell things, and I am going to do this and go on, do that, and I am going to pee on things and enjoy myself. They don't think that way. Time for them to do something, they just do it, period. Mm-hmm. And for them, life and death are the same. They have no judgment over life and over death. They live and they die, and they accept both. And people don't do that because they fear death. And death is...
We also are programmed with time.
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest thing. If you like time is the construct that really can hold you in the matrix.
Yes.
So
Rely,
on that, what about,
people rely too much on time. Well,
oh, definitely.
I must be hungry. I don't feel hungry, but I must be because it's 12 o'clock and time for lunch, and everyone at my job is leaving to go to lunch.
Yeah.
I should follow them. I have to follow them and eat my lunch, even though I am not hungry. Well, 9 o'clock, it is time to go to sleep. I am not tired, but everyone else in the world is going to sleep, so I will follow along.
On that note, perfect transition. So time, right? So I'm excited you just said this because I had a download last week, right? And this is crazy that I just started getting all this information about the Sophia Christos is the goddess energy that was like the female version of Jesus Christ and the Jesus the Christ and the whole Christos thing. And it was inverted. And then Sophia Christos was kind of like, basically the matrix womb inversion thing. So I just had this crazy download that the Sophia Christ is rising in Christos and that the women who have portals and wombs need to get that empowerment back because it's almost like it was desecrated and like Mother Earth, it's been like, raped and pillaged and used, and it's kind of like symbolic with Mother Earth. So after I get this download, like Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Sophia, like Mother Goddess, Mary Magdalene. And by the way, is Mary Magdalene and Sophia Christos the same, right? No, they're different?
Yes.
Okay, so Mary Magdalene's not the physical incarnation embodied.
Mary was a person in the time of Jesus the Christ. Sophia is an idea.
An idea. Got it. Perfect. And then Mary
If you think of Sophia as an idea, you can then use the energy of the idea to become anything you want to become in any way you would like to become it. And you are speaking of women. You are talking about women. First of all, women have a high degree, most women have a high degree of intelligence, a high consciousness over that of man. Man is not as informed or enlightened yet as women are. Why? Because women are the teachers of man. Men follow women. This sounds a bit crazy, but if you really look at things, if you had a choice to make between having a man or a woman run you, tell you what to do, how to do it, which would you prefer? I would prefer a woman because a woman is gentler. A woman uses intuition. A man uses commandment, judgment, control. You understand that?
It's like exactly the Saturn energy versus, and that's what we've been in this like Saturn matrix of that Chronos and Saturn and discipline and hard, and we need to get that divine feminine rising and integration going because women literally have been afraid to speak their mind and open to their power from the DNA being programmed that you're going to get burned at the stake or you're going to be too bitchy or too powerful. Yes. We've dumbed ourselves down, but with this rising up energy, the other thing that happened is I got to download that they desynchronized our cycles, our reproductive cycles with messing with the calendars, with messing with time, messing with their DNA expression. And I was like, if we could resynchronize on like a 13-month calendar instead of the 12-month calendar, we would get our cycles back and maybe express our DNA differently and unlock some dormant DNA that might have been, programmed. So I have this whole thing going on. And then I go, why don't I do a 24-hour festival, music festival that's virtual that'll align everybody across time zones to get everybody synchronized and teach them about DNA and have music frequencies and healing frequencies at like a 24-hour global like energy healing fest and trying to resynchronize our circadian rhythms and all that. Is that crazy?
If this is something you want to do, it is not crazy. No. Now, to a normal, and I say normal because you know what normal people are, those who are not in the know, as you say, to those people, yes, it would be crazy because they don't anything that you're talking about. They don't understand energy. They don't understand consciousness, all the rest, and reality and all the rest. So leave them out of this conversation. Who believe in that will create that. Now, the way I teach people about DNA is I tell them, leave your DNA alone. It is its own intelligence. It knows what it is doing. It does not need your help. People are trying to activate their DNA, activate their third eye, activate this, activate that. Everything is working. Leave it all alone. It all knows what to do because it is all its own intelligent being. Leave it alone. Don't try to change things. But what you can do is enhance things by, number one, not judging, number two, living in the moment, and number three, watching your dog more. And if you do not have a dog, maybe you would like to get a dog so that you can learn about time, space, frequency, energy, living in the moment, relying on your instinct, and all the rest.
Funny, because I was talking to the kids last night, and I was like, better be nice to the dog, because Abram's always saying that dogs are like the perfect creature, and that they're here to like teach us unconditional love, and they live in the moment. And I was like, and I have a feeling that they're more powerful and important than we can give credit for. One day people from Sirius, they're going to come like dog people. And, so you better love and respect that dog. And now you're just saying, like, I love your dog. And I know how much you love your dog, Jack. So it's just, I love dogs too. I had 3, now I have 1, but oh gosh, I love animals in general. And
Good.
that. So this is crazy. Okay. So this goes along with what I just told you. So this is going to blow your mind, or at least it blew my mind, because I thought I was losing my mind. So after the whole download about the DNA and the site and the whole thing of synchronizing the cycles, I had always gotten, not to be gross, but I'd always gotten my cycle on a full moon. And I had never deviated from that. And I had recently gotten the full moon, and then the new moon comes around 2 weeks later, and I got it again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got it on both cycles. What's wrong with me? So I Google it, and it said, if you get it on both the full moon and then the subsequent new moon, you're really tapped into it, whatever. So then I'm like, well, I don't believe that. It's the internet. So I reach out to my friend, Sarah Bressman-Cosme, master QHHT hypnotist. Awesome, legit, the best. And I'm like, Sarah, the craziest thing happened. I tell her the story, and I go, I don't know what to do. And I said, have you heard this from any of your clients? Is anybody bringing this through? And she goes, yes, actually, they're all doing, a lot of them are saying this. There's something going on with their bodies, or maybe synchronizing to like the organic original calendar, or something's going on. So it made me think of that when you said your DNA knows what to do. So that's kind of what's happening. It's just doing its thing.
First of all, since there is no time, there is really no such a thing as a calendar. Secondly, many people, including you, my friend, are going through a change. You're becoming more intuitive, more spiritual, more conscious. This is good. Throughout one's lifetime, an individual will go through cycles, major life cycles, 3 of them during a lifetime. You are going into a new cycle. Many people are. This is why she, your friend, has been telling you that many people are experiencing the same thing, going through the same thing. People are changing. And this is because of many things going on in your government, in your air, in your water, in your food, and especially in the way people are thinking. People's thoughts are changing. But in this is a tricky time for you people. You will all get through it, and you will all be fine. But hold on to your seat, as you say. It will be a ride for a while. So the best thing that you and people can do is finally rely on yourself, and stop relying on your government and medicine and religion and all of the things that stopped working decades and decades and years and years and years and millennium ago. The only things working are you people. Rely on yourselves. Pay attention to your feelings, your instincts. Rely more on your instinct like a dog does. You will always be fine. But again, hold on to your seat. You are in for a rough ride, but you will all get through it, and you will all be just fine. Stop thinking the worst and start thinking, how can you change your reality?
Right. Your own individual timeline is more important than ever to take control, be a divine creator, step into your power, realize your source energy, and that you have the choice and choose your choice, because now is the time to do it. It's kind of like everything's up for grabs, everything's happening at once, and we have to be the divine. We can't look to a savior. People think Jesus, the Christ, is coming. For them, maybe he is, but I feel like it's the Christ consciousness within us that we are pulling through into this earth game reality. And that's okay. So it's more of a Christ consciousness that's coming through. Okay.
Yes.
And then with regard to the whole Jesus to Christ thing, I just had a quick question. Did Jesus of Nazareth, or Jesus the Christ, which, the one that we study about, did he have a twin brother?
Why?
Because somebody told me he did. And I was wondering, like, how did I not know this? And then I was wondering, was he the one that stood in for him for the crucifixion? Because did he not get crucified?
No, was not him. Did he have a twin brother? You decide if you believe that or not.
It doesn't resonate with me, but somebody said it. So,
I am hesitant to say this. I do not want to anger people, but no, he did not have a twin brother. He had a friend that was almost like a brother to him, but it was not him either who went on the cross. It was someone else.
So there was a stand-in. That's
absolutely. Yes.
Yes. And then he escaped with John the Baptist or is Joseph, and then he met Mary Magdalene somewhere and they got to...
He was told to leave.
Okay.
Punches told him, Jesus, I like you. I don't want to put you on the cross, so I'm giving you the opportunity to leave, not come back. If you come back, you will be put on the cross. The choice is yours.
Yeah, I would leave too. I want to do that. But then he went with Mary Magdalene and they had children?
Yes.
Excellent. How many kids do they have?
2.
2. And are there both Mary Magdalene and Jesus the Christ's bones in the Vatican? Do they really have those?
No.
Those are fake?
Yes.
Okay. And when is the Vatican going to come down for all their tomfoolery and shenanigans that they've been pulling on us for years?
They have become so powerful. Don't think that that is going to happen for a long, long, long time.
But how did they be more powerful than us in our own timelines declaring or stating? And
has religion become so powerful?
Because people give
by guilt and
money. Yeah. What about the portals the Pope opened up? Were those satanic portals?
Do you believe in that?
I believe in egregors of energy that you give attention to, but I believe that if you look at it and send love to it, it'll turn into butterflies. Because it's your own consciousness projecting, and then if you put fear into it, you feed into it. But if you put empowerment and love into it, you can transmute it.
And when you put fear into something, you create it much more quickly and to be more powerful than otherwise. Choose how you want to create.
Excellent. I always say I'm sovereign, I'm free, I'm divine source energy, I only consent to my highest timeline. The only contract I have is between my soul and source. Is that okay to say? Is that something that...
That is just fine. What I say is, I am complete.
It's a lot shorter. It's easier.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. Excellent. Is there a flash coming in April, like a big solar flash?
Your planet Earth has had solar flashes for... I cannot tell you how long. It has always been going on. Yes, there will be solar flashes. Some will be more powerful, more strongly prevalent on your planet Earth than other ones, but not to worry, my friend. Nothing severe is going to happen. Everything will
be... Right, no traumatizing. You said that.
No. Unless someone creates it to be that way, then they will have that in their reality. Now, I give this analogy. 2 houses side by side, earthquake hits. Mm-hmm. One person in one house fears earthquakes, their house gets destroyed. The other person in the other house does not fear earthquakes, his or her house is just fine.
Right. You're a magnet of your thoughts and you create
emotions and intention and belief.
Emotions, intentions, and belief. Definitely. So we were on an Earth called Akashiel before this.
Yes.
Right. And now we're on the Earth, and then we're going back to Terra.
Why would you think that?
Well, I know we're on the Earth, but I thought it was a temporary mission to help raise the Earth ship Gaia energy up to a higher frequency. But then when we return back to the organic structure, place, Earth, whatever it is that we're from.
That idea of being on another planet like Earth will exist for you and all people after you die. You will be able to create that unless you decide to return to your planet Earth for another reincarnation.
So this is the Earth that's going to become the new Earth. Just becoming more healthy again?
More complete.
More complete.
You can call it new Earth. Its frequency will rise when people treat it gently.
Right. So on that note, I had to go out and do a ritual, or was suggested after that whole thing with the calendar and the synchronization. And Sarah said, "Can you go outside and do it, an offering to Mother Earth?" I said, "Of course." It's freezing, but I went out and I did some sort of symbolic thing. So those type of intentions of "I love you, thank you, we appreciate you, we're so sorry for everything, and we want to give," that helps. But then we have to do something physical too, like something to help clean and come up with something more sustainable, not waste as much. Is a combination.
And the best thing I tell people is plant a tree, plant a bush,
Right.
plant flowers. Talk to your planet Earth. Your Earth gives you everything you need to sustain your life. Give some back to it.
It's I'm big on talking to plants. Dr. Vogel proved so long ago that not only plants respond to consciousness, they're so smart that if you go like you're pretending to cut them with a scissor, and even if you're joking, they're so smart because it's like your own consciousness or an extension of, they actually know when you're bluffing, and they won't react on an EKG measuring their, but if you actually do cut the leaf, then they will. And even if Dr. Vogel, when he was traveling and he was on the other side of the world, if he even thought about his plants back home, the EKG machine or whatever it is, the needle would go up and down because we're so intertwined in that consciousness of nature, Mother Earth, and all of that, that it's really kind of an extension of us.
Because everything is consciousness, everything is energy, and everything and everyone is connected. Yes.
Right. Right. So the more we can unite people's hearts and minds, they'll wake up more? Or is it just naturally they're going to wake up because of the frequencies and the natural cycles that we're going through, like the age of Aquarius and the proton belt?
When you help people to wake up within their compassion, you will see a great change take place very quickly.
So getting people to understand this is all a game, both sides are being played, and puppetry and all of that, but to have compassion and love for all humanity, animals, the earth, because we're all one, and not to focus on the separation sides, just try to create something better, like a unity, gathering of music or some sort of 24-hour event that helps to synchronize everybody and bring them together, undo the Tower of Babel, but with music.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, because I really want to do that. I love music, like DJ music, and it brings so much joy. And there's so many people that are getting musical lately or wanting to express in music. And I think ETs love music because they made me buy 4 guitars. They keep making me buy guitars and I don't even know how to play. And then they're making me do DJ music and it didn't even make any sense, but I can't stop. And I love it. So is that their thing? They love our music because they can only make tones and frequencies and we can make lyrics, and
they have their own music, they have their own lyrics, just like you, but way different than yours. So, since everything is a part of everything else, yes, they appreciate your music, just as you appreciate.
Gotcha. So there's not, what about this Tara thing? There's no going back to that? Is that just a story?
Let me put it this way. It is an idea, and the idea can become a reality when you die. When you are on, as you say, the other side, but there is no other side because it all happens right here and right now. So when you die, you are still right here and right now, but in a different dimension of here and now. And then you can create that idea into being a reality if you would like it to be. You have the choice.
So basically being out of your body in the waking dream of life or whatever it is. It's like being another dream where anything's possible and you can create, but it's much more real, tangible than even reality in the, waking state of Earth game felt. Because I don't feel like this is real. Not that I don't feel like it's real. I feel like I'm watching a movie. My eyesight's blurry. I see figures, shadowy figures. I mean, my ears are always high pitched, all the time. So I never felt 100% comfortable in this, situation, make an invest in it. But lately it's I'm just completely feeling everything. So
you think you are in a movie. This is a good thing. Okay. Remember, you are the director, the writer, the stars, and all the rest of the people who play in the movie. And you are the meaning, the plot of the movie also. You.
So even though other people in their timelines are there, the primary player of their game and they're playing their role, and then you're this other players within their game that they can dictate with their creative abilities of what they want, But then in your own timeline, like me, I'm doing that as a divine creator when I focus and I'm intentional and I'm conscious, but I'm pulling other people in that are really reflecting what I'm creating. So it's like each one of us is almost like our own player, but all the same players that overlap are actually like playing the game for you separately,
Yes.
but you're all together. It's
Yes.
so that's really cool because it's kind of, I thought it was, it's kind of like we're all individual players of the game and we can all like, get, it's like you upgrade, you up level and all of that. But then there's some people who are playing the game and they're miserable and all their players and the people are like bad, because they're in that frequency. But if they just raise their frequency, then their entire game reality would reflect that. Okay, cool. So this is exciting because, I always uncover so much new stuff with you. Before this, I had, some other ideas. One of the things I was wondering about is with Mary Magdalene, was she like one of the 12 female disciples and there were 12 male disciples?
No.
So there weren't 24. Okay. So she was only female in that group, or was it? Huh. Okay. But she was his teacher, right? More of like a teacher to Jesus.
And I said in the beginning, women are the teachers of men. And I am not putting men down. They're looking at levels of consciousness. What men have to do, and they have to do this, is quit pushing things around, quit controlling, quit demanding, and begin allowing. It would have been an easier lifetime.
Yeah. Okay, so then she's, the teacher, all that. They had children, I get that. She's now my question is, I don't mean to be disrespectful because I love Mary Magdalene and I feel very connected to Mary Magdalene, but was she like into the occult, sex magic, and they do a lot of their mystery school manifestational and activations through Kundalini and other stuff like that?
No.
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 Hey, because I know Rome was like a free, things were going on there that, there was like a free for all.
Yeah.
So she did not use any of that. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Excellent. Okay. So then where was she from? Like Sirius? Like was she an avatar too? Like that she was able to know all this stuff?
Her origin is Pleiadian.
And Jesus was Pleiadian as well, or was he Sirius and Pleiadian?
Both.
Okay. That's what I thought it was. Interesting. Who's Marduk? Is he real?
We will talk about that at another time.
Oh gosh, it's a bad subject. Okay, Kim Gogan. Last question. Kim Gogan. Is she legit? What's her deal?
What do you think?
I don't resonate with the negativity of what she says, but I appreciate if she's doing all the things that it sounds like she's doing. But I don't judge. So that's why I don't ever think anyone's good or bad. I just, because it's not uplifting listening to her. And I like to think of the highest timeline. But I also don't know what she's up against. She might be dealing with some stuff. Is she legit? How come nobody knows about her? Is she a puppet that is there to distract us? Or is she like...
Yes and no to all of the above. You have to understand, certain people are an idea. It almost seems like they are not real. They are an idea.
And holographic?
But more than that. More than.
Okay. And then is that like the same thing with the clone where Trump was taken out and this is somebody else that's playing him?
There's no one else playing him, no.
This is crazy in the spiritual community because I've had channelers tell me that he was taken out in 2022 and then they put him in a different timeline and then they brought in this actor or person that's playing out the role. One time he had a red tie, one time he had a blue tie. None of that's real?
People like to tell stories. People like to hear themselves talk. When you hear things like that, as you people say, take it with a grain of salt, because too many people do not know what they are talking about. Now,
Okay.
how do you feel?
Is it time to hurry up, huh? Goes by so fast.
Absolutely. So how are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm actually like a little like mind blown some of this stuff because I really, especially the whole cycle thing and like I had a physical manifestation of that. And I really thought like maybe there was like a DNA trick that went on because you hear those implants of DNA, they manipulated the DNA 200,000 years ago, all these caps and stuff. But I guess it's all cycles. It's all, we're just playing out the micro of the macro, right? Like, so.
Your cycles are because you are changing the body.
Right, because our DNA is crystalline, is becoming crystalline.
Your DNA is what it is. People talk about crystalline this, crystalline that, crystalline people, and all the rest. I would really, really enjoy seeing your people and all people on your planet Earth take a breath, step back, and start all over again, relying on yourselves and not stories that people make up that you believe that are not real.
Atlantis is real.
Absolutely.
Okay. So some of the stories are real. That's the thing. It's like some are real.
The stories are real, but those that seem way far out, as you say, take it with a grain of salt, as you say. I've enjoyed being with you, my friend.
Too. It was so good. Yeah, I could talk to you all day. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate you and have an awesome rest.
And I appreciate you. My day is going to last a long, long time because there is no...
It's no time.
Thank you, my friend. I've enjoyed being.
Thank you. I love you. Have a great day.